I'm now joined from Jerusalem by General Yaakov Amidror, former National Security Advisor to the Israeli Prime Minister. General, an absolute pleasure to have you on the show today. Thank you for joining us. So earlier today, Israeli naval forces boarded and seized a charity vessel trying to break a naval blockade of the Gaza Strip. Are the activists on board safe? And what is Israel planning to do with the captured crew, including Greta Thunberg?
Of course, they are safe. They got water and food immediate when the IDF forces had been on board. I saw her smiling in the picture. She didn't like the idea, but she liked the food probably. After they will watch the atrocities of Hamas in a film that was done based on what was photoed by the Hamas terrorists, they will be released to their countries. Israel will put them on airplanes. We don't need them. We don't need us. They will go back to their countries after they will see what Hamas did in the 7th of October.
The French president has asked Israeli authorities to release their nationals on board as soon as possible. Will you uphold this request from one of your country's closest allies? And has this latest capture of activists weakened Israel's standing on the global stage, as Israel is facing criticism for this morning's actions?
First of all, years ago, there was a committee which nominated by the Secretary of the United Nations, headed by a judge from New Zealand. And the result of the inquiry of this committee was clear. Israel has the right to put siege on Gaza and to act as Israel acted this morning. So from the international point of view, we don't have any problem. We have a stamp of what we did by international committee which nominated by the United Nations. About the French demand, it doesn't need any demand. We say from the beginning that we will release all of them. We will take them to aeroplanes flying from Israel to France and other countries, and they will go back home after they will see the atrocities of Hamas which they are defending, terror organization which was defended by them. After they see the atrocities, they will be free to go back to their countries.
General, Israel's offensive against Gaza has killed more than 54,000 Palestinians. That's according to health officials in Hamas-run Gaza. And that's since the October the 7th attack, which killed 1,200 people. Do you think Israel's ongoing offensive is disproportionate?
No, because first of all, you don't know if this is the number. Do you believe Hamas? I don't intend to believe Hamas. Second, how many of the 50,000 are terrorists? They don't say. They don't make any differentiation between civilians and terrorists. And third, what is the number of Palestinians which had been anyhow died in Gaza during this month? So if you take all this number together, you see the number of civilians that had been killed by the IDF when we are fighting this terror organization is not such a big one. I know that the Hamas is doing noises all over the world, but they're lying about the numbers. They don't tell how many terrorists are within the numbers and how many anyhow supposed to die in the Gaza Strip during this month. So with all due respect, and I don't have any respect to the Hamas numbers, I don't think that Israel is exaggerating.
Is Israel sympathetic to the international concern for people's lives? Because we were talking about the naval blockade in place since 2007. General, we also know there's a land blockade. Aid isn't getting into Gaza as much as needed. The UN is calling for this to happen. Are you and are the people of Israel sympathetic to what's happening?
Look, we are very sorry about the fact that civilians had been killed by Hamas' decision to fight within civilians. We think it's a sin, it's against the international law, and we are more than angry that Hamas is fighting within his own civilian people. It's against the international law, and I hope that the international community will condemn it. I don't see it happening, but I hope that it will happen. We know that at the end of the day, the international community is not something that Israel should be dependent on. They didn't think that we have to attack Hezbollah in Lebanon, and we did it with great success. They didn't think that we had to go to Rafah, and without it, Yahya Sinwar and his brother probably were alive now. So with all due respect to the international community, the responsibility for the security of Israel is not in the hands of foreign leaders, it's in the hands of the Israeli government. We are a sovereign state, democratic one, by the way. We have a strong democracy. The majority of the members of the parliament are supporting the government, and the decision about the security of Israel will be done by the government of Israel and not foreign leaders.
Turkey has condemned the seizure of today of this boat, and they've basically said that they've called the move, Israel's move today to capture the vessel, a clear violation of international law. Do you agree with this assessment? Is Israel breaking international law?
No, I told you. There was such an event in, I think it was 2011, and the Secretary General of the United Nations nominated a committee headed by a judge from New Zealand. And after a long investigation about the situation, he said, and that was approved by the United Nations, that Israel has the right and legitimacy to put siege on Gaza and to act in international waters if it is serving the siege which was declared by Israel. It's formally declared, so it's full legal action.
General Yaakov Amidror, former National Security Advisor to the Israeli PM, thank you so much for your thoughts. I appreciate you on the show.
You are most welcome.